Welcome to this special collective pick a card reading. This is the first collective reading I'm doing, but I felt really called to just do a general reading. And this one is going to be all about the positive movement that is coming in autumn. I think that we deserve some positive change, and I was called to do this reading. I actually wanted to take a pause from reading for a little bit, but then I really felt called to just do another pick a card, and then I didn't really feel like picking piles, and so I've been watching this reader, Alice Love. I will put her YouTube name under in the description, but she is doing some beautiful collective readings, which I really enjoy watching, so I was like, why not try to do a collective reading instead? So this is going to be the energy of you watching this video. Everyone that is feeling called to this is going to resonate with this energy. And of course, like if it doesn't resonate, please just pick another video. This is just for the ones who I am going to read your energy for. But it's mostly these collective lessons that we're learning, right? We're all just like this retrograde season. We are all kind of learning the same kinds of lessons at the same time. I feel like when I talk to my friends, I see a lot of similarities. We're all going through the same thing. So that is why I think that collective readings work as well. And so I really hope that you get something out of this and get excited for what is to come. Because the reason that I felt called to do this reading about positive change is because I feel like that is coming. So let me just shut up about that, the explanation, because maybe you have already seen some collective readings, but on this channel we haven't done that before, so I just wanted to get a little bit more into it. So we are starting with the Nine of Cups, and then these also wanted to fall out. So yeah, positive changes. I feel like there is this space opening up. And that might feel like it might be a little bit weird right now, a little bit empty, or also hear and see a lot of people kind of turning more inwards, especially if you're very sensitive, an empath. It is, and not even only empaths, like I know friends of mine who are very like extroverted, who are just taking the time to tend to themselves a little bit more. And that is like after the period that we've had with these changes, it's normal to have to integrate lessons, right? And to be like, okay, what now? So that is kind of what we have been going through. I feel with the energy that I'm feeling right now about what is coming, like the positive changes, it's more like space opening up. We have taken the time to get our ducks in a row, I'm hearing, which means that we might have created space for new people to come in or new exciting experiences. I also feel like maybe moving for some of you, where you have made some decisions, where you are ready to step into a new phase in your life. It's interesting that I don't usually take reversals. This one is supposed to be the other way around, but I laid it like that. So a reverse card is like the opposite meaning of what it means when it's upright. Ace of Swords in reverse. I'm going to get into the cards later. I just feel like there's a lot. Like this open space feels very exciting. It kind of feels like they're giving me the image of a big fluffy bed with a lot of cushions that we are able to fall into. Wow, okay, that's a cool metaphor. So it's just like this space where we get to land, where we are held, where we are safe, but it also feels exciting and new, which also means that it might be a little bit weird at the beginning, right? But it is more a supportive energy mostly. So this could mean I also feel like meeting new people who are going to be friends, or just being, if you're starting a new job, like meeting these people that really are really excited that you're there to help their team and take you on as like their coworker, more like you are welcomed a lot. That is what I'm really feeling. So getting into these cards, you might be a little bit distracted right now. I feel like these lights represent like all these things asking for your attention. And the Four of Swords means stagnation, having to wait, a waiting period. Yeah, I feel like that is like the current energy. Yeah, so with these cards, I feel like we are moving out of this energy, but we need to make some decisions. As you see, like all these little lights are distracting, but they're also options for us. And so we can be like looking around and looking at all these options while waiting, but at some point we are going to have to make a move to do something about it, to choose to like pick a side or to move forward with a project and say no to someone else. And I feel like, okay, getting it now. So the Ace of Swords is about making fair decisions and an opportunity. And it's now reversed, right? So that kind of correlates with this card, which means waiting. So it's really hard for you to make a decision right now. So let me look into why it's hard to make a decision. I also feel like this card might... Yeah, Mother of Cups. The Mother of Cups represents the Queen of Cups. And the cups are water energy. Water signs, water energy are very emotional and nurturing. So I feel like we might be scared to let someone down. We are wanting to keep everyone happy. Maybe we are really trying to just not stand on anyone's toes, but we might forget that we are here to make our own decisions to move forward in the best way for ourselves as well. And that it's not always easy, but it is fair to... I still hear like pick a side. I don't know why we should pick sides, because like there's always a middle road, right? But maybe we are a little bit too much on the middle road and we just have to make a clear-cut decision to get this one like that. So the Three of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like there are a lot of different puzzle pieces in this whole decision-making process. Like there is more to the story. It's not that easy, but I also feel like it is all interconnected, like this web. So when it comes to positive changes, it's beautiful because I said in the beginning, like making this decision, it will feel like you are landing in a big pile of cushions of a really big bed. You're being supported. That's how I started this reading. That's the image that I started with. And so maybe you are really just worrying about stuff that, like, of course it's difficult if you have to disappoint someone or there's more to the story. Like it's all going to be like a domino effect as it's interconnected. But I feel like Spirit just wants us to know, like, it's not that big of a deal in a sense. We are kind of the ones holding ourselves back with the waiting. Mouse. Pay attention to the small things. We are paying attention to most of the small things, and I feel like we are being encouraged to look at the bigger picture more. How does this make you feel? If it's like... For example, I just had a conversation with one of my friends, and she kind of has two options when it comes to guys. And she's like, I'm not sure yet. Like, I don't know yet. But if you're looking at the small stuff a lot, and maybe this is not the right example, but... Ooh, yeah, this also correlates with that story. The beaver, make solid foundations. How does... the options that you have when it comes to maybe your job or your living environment or how you want to move forward or maybe in romantic relationships, how do these things make you feel? Look at the bigger picture, because if you're focused too much on the little things, you're going to get in this stagnation energy where it's really hard to make a choice. While we get to take care of ourselves in the best way possible, and sometimes... Oh my god, I love that. So this one is talking about taking charge, being your own leader. you are capable of making tough decisions. That's kind of the whole message that I'm getting here. And I feel like this is like a learning curve. It's not easy. That's not what I'm trying to say here. And that's not what Spirit is trying to say. It's really this phase of learning to listen to your own voice and to honor it, to respect yourself, and making those hard decisions because you know that this is going to be really good for you and move you forward. And yes, it sucks to disappoint people or to hurt someone, and you're not even wanting to do that, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to stay in a stagnant waiting energy and just not moving forward. That's not worth it, right? We're here to love is everywhere. Yeah. So also, if it's interconnected when it comes to other people, don't they have a say over their own life? Don't you then as well? I think we can get caught up in this web when we're talking about spiders and webs and things being interconnected. Sometimes we are listening too much to what other people think, feel, want from us, and we forget that we honor their decisions a lot, but we don't really do that with ourselves. Don't you think it's strange that we sometimes tend to forget that we have the same rights as our friends or partners or people who we care about have as well? And I'm not saying you're disrespecting yourself, but when it comes to making tough decisions, it's okay to just listen to what you know is right, what you know feels good. And there's a big chance that you already know this, but maybe you're just postponing it because it feels hard to do. And I totally get that. Making hard decisions, letting other people down, maybe, because maybe it's not that bad. This card of love is everywhere. If they truly love you, if they really care about you, or if they're just a decent human being, they will get that you have to make the right decision for you, as you also would like them to make the best decision for you. Of course, it's not going to be fun if they choose someone else over you, or they are deciding to move away from you, or whatever it may be. It might suck. But I think that you would also get that someone has to make certain tough decisions if it's for their own life, right? The same is with you here. So don't take too much in consideration what they would want, but listen more to your own intuition, your own voice in this. Baby steps. Yeah. It's not about it being easy and for you to just make a choice and move forward. The reason why this energy of the last few months, if I reflect back to that, it's this very slow moving process, this probably what you're in right now as well. It kind of has led up to this moment, right? You first have the contrast where things were a certain way and then things changed. Maybe through a conflict, or maybe through feeling different about something, or maybe learning more about yourself, or meeting new people that give you different perspectives. And then you're like, oh wait, maybe I had this wrong, or maybe I want something different, or maybe I'm ready for this now. And that contrast is kind of moving you into this new direction. And that's probably the point where you are right now, right? You have created this space, and now it's time to move forward in a different way. But you haven't done this before. So making a tough decision or moving forward in a direction that is new, you're encouraged to take baby steps with that. To be kind with yourself, because that's how you learn, right? If you are starting a new job and maybe you have been to school to do that certain job, but still actually working versus being in school is different. So you also, if your employer is a good employer, you should be getting the time to adjust and to learn at that new job, right? That's the same with this. So you should be respectful to yourself, honor your own intuition, your voice, and move forward with baby steps. But move forward. Okay, cool. So this new energy is, and with new energy, for those of you who are not that big into energy, with that I mean like things are pretty different right now. If that's not the case in your life, like maybe this is not the reading for you, but collectively I feel like we have been seeing a lot more things clearly, things coming up to the surface, and us needing to readjust, to look at ourselves in a different light, to step up more, have some tough conversations, maybe change jobs, maybe change location, right? End relationships, start new ones. It's not that like calm water energy. It's more like a lot of stuff coming up and us needing to do something with it. So that is the new that we have stepped into. So this card is talking about being hard on ourselves. And this card is talking about that new energy. Seeing beyond the veil and discovering new ways of being. This is a difficult time, collectively. If you're going through this, that's not an easy period, like life period. I'm not really having the right words for this, but like this period that we have been going through, this growing period, this discovering new things about ourselves and what we want to do. It really shakes things up, right? And we are exactly where we need to be. When things are shaken up, we want to get to the other side as soon as possible, right? And maybe it has taken a while. And as we adjust to moving into a new way of being, of adjusting to these new environments, these new people, this new version of ourselves that we are stepping into, it's so normal to be confused, to be tired, to having to adjust, to not know. I've had so many moments of, okay, I don't know what I'm doing anymore these last couple of months. So maybe you recognize that as well. Let me know how these last few months were for you in the comments, because I'm really curious to know like what this collective energy has been for you the last few months. How have you been feeling? What kind of changes have you been going through? Because I feel like reading it from other people to know like, okay, this is like a thing for all of us, so reassuring. Like we're going through this together. It's not fun. Like I don't wish this for you if you are listening to this, but I feel like we've all kind of been going through that, right? So take the time to adjust, to be confused, to let this open space be there, and then to, with baby steps, make that decision in like which area you want to evolve in, grow in, maybe let go of something because that's the best for you. So you get to feel more peace, feel more calm, feel more joyful, relax your nervous system, do something that you love, follow that voice of your soul. Like that is the most important thing, right? And so you get to do that. We all get to do that. We all get to choose our most happy selves. And yes, it's hard to let the old go and whatever comes with that. Surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. This is what we were talking about, right? To feel like we can be ourselves, to feel love for life. Yeah, called soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. That is because we have been having to step up for ourselves, to decide on what we want to do with our lives. And that's really powerful, because if we are truly taking ourselves serious in what brings us joy and who we want to become, like if we know, and you only know because you are asking yourself these questions, right? Then you can figure it out. If you know, you can move into that direction. And that's kind of the space that we've been creating, to be able to to start moving in that direction. That's why that space is there, because now that we know, and like, it might be a little bit scary because we might have to make a difficult decision because of it. Or the difficult decision is like, okay, we need to step into change, and I'm not sure if I'm ready for change because it feels scary because I haven't done this before. We are invited to fill that space and to move in that direction that our soul has been guiding us to these last couple of months. That's why this chaos, that's why these questions, that's why we were reminded of our strength, our power through this confusion and chaos and contrast, because we got to figure out what we wanted instead. And now that we know, we can like fill that space. That's where we're headed. So what positive changes are coming if we start to move in that direction that our soul has chosen for us? I'm not really feeling a lot about what that is, but I feel like it's a collective reading, so it will be different for all of us. Can you give me some more information about what we're moving into? That's not more information. Surrender to the divine. Yeah. We have to just trust a little bit more for a little bit longer. I feel like, sorry, that's not the message that I wanted to get, because I'm like so over the surrendering and trusting. Oh my God. A personal issue reaches resolution. Also, I haven't even talked about these ones. Earth pulsing and earthed. So we are being reminded to stay connected to the simple things in life, to not take this chaos and these questions and whatever is happening too seriously. These phases, we all go through these phases, right? But in the meantime, we still just have each other. We can still have fun. We can still like take a walk in nature, be in the now. And I think that is really important, to move forward with confidence, to really come back to self, to relax your nervous system. If things are scary, like take extra good care of yourself. Take that rest, but also do the things that really ground you, that make you feel in control. Focus on what you can control, right? And give yourself that moment of relaxation, like you're worthy of taking it slow, doing what you love, having fun with friends and family, or by yourself. Oh, more. This card talks about using your voice and also meditating. That kind of correlates with this message of taking the time for yourself. But speaking your truth is also really important. I feel like if we are focused on what other people think is right and kind of just repeating those words and not really looking within, like what it is that we really feel is the right thing, instead of just moving with the flow of those around us. Like I said with this, we have a whole bunch of cards here. Oh my gosh. Like with this card, being distracted by others and responsibilities and what is asked of us. Like it's so easy to get swept away and to just go with the flow in that. But we are encouraged to still keep turning inward, to keep checking, like, do I agree with that? Do I feel good about this? Is this what I really want? And then when you know that, you can stay connected to that inner knowing, to that inner voice. That is going to help you so much in this time period, because to create something new, we need to know which things, people, places resonate with us. And if we get too caught up in the flow, and I love being in the flow and just seeing where it takes me, but if we are doing that too much, we might lose our own voice. And so are we still checked into what is really important to us? Are we losing sight of that? Are we making enough time to do the things that are important to us? Or are you just letting life take over and responsibilities and just not even like make the time to do what is important to us? the more that you listen, the more that you take the time to do what is important to you and to also speak your truth. Like if something is not resonating with you or you do not really feel the same about something, speak your truth. The more that you do that, the easier it is to stay tapped in and to know what your next steps are, because you are in the flow of really strongly being connected to self. And from that place, what you want is easily created because you can easily feel what it is, right? And sometimes we just need to practice that through meditation or through tuning into the body and speaking more of what we really think. That's kind of just ignites this fire within us. And I feel like we might have lost that fire a little bit. And so this message is coming through to create like balance, right? And that will really help us to create this momentum of clarity and to see things start to move more. And I love this card. It's talking about like being the star. And this is reminding me of the message that I also already shared, which is like, it's your life. You get to prioritize what feels good to you and create that, to follow the joy. And the more that you do that, the more respect you'll see around you, because it's so inspiring to see someone do what they love to do and what they believe in, and also like to speak your truth. One example that comes to mind is I had a conversation with someone who's very dear to me. They had a period where they were like, I feel pretty insecure around my coworkers because they do all these things, like they are drinking a lot, and I'm not really that kind of person who just goes out and just drinks a lot. Like I've had my fair time of doing that, and it's just not really my thing. And they talk about stuff that I don't really care about, and I'm just seeing myself trying to be like them, but it doesn't really feel right. And I asked them, is there someone in your work environment, your workspace, where they just don't give a shit about what everyone else is doing, and they just like go home early and when like the rest of the team is going out for drinks, right? And she said like, yeah, there are a few people like that. And I was like, okay, are they respected by the rest, or are they looked down upon because they do that? And she said like, no, they're actually respected for doing that. And I was like, you could be that person as well. Like, you've got nothing to lose. It just creates respect, right? If someone chooses them. I feel like a lot of us are just like, yeah, it's maybe easier to fit in, but then we have more respect for the ones who are not like that. And maybe because, like, I'm not sure if that's you, but maybe that's because we are like, oh, we wish we could just say no. Or we wish, and like maybe it is like your thing to go out for drinks every 2 days in a week. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either. But like maybe that is your thing. But the reason why that person who is not choosing not to do that is respected is because they are not trying to fit in. And that's actually more respected, because maybe we were like, oh, I could also be like that. So that's kind of the energy that I'm getting for this. It's just like, just be more authentically you, because then you can cut through the crap and you'll easier know like what your next steps are and what you can do to make yourself more happy. If you are choosing to play this game of going with the flow, and I for sure like get that, especially with what I've noticed the last few months and in my friends' lives as well. Like, we all like don't know what to do at certain points where we're like, what is going on? It's easier to go with the flow then, right? Than to take a pause and to really feel like, okay, what is it that this is trying to teach me? Or what is the lesson, and what movement am I encouraged to make here? Because if things are unsure, it's probably because there is a lesson to be learned there, right? So what positive coyote. Trust the godly redirection, or what's the word? Like taking the longer way home, because there is, what is the word? I'm not coming up with the word. Time for a fresh new perspective. This is all just leading us to look at life differently, to look at ourselves differently, to do like a whole scan of our life, where we are heading, where we're going, if it's still what we really want. And that is going to, if we decide to take that jump, if we are ready to make those adjustments, it's going to be like landing on a cloud bed. That's the message. I'm not getting a lot more. I keep shuffling cards, but it's all kind of the same message here. Yeah, again, share your song and diving deeper into your truth and sharing your truth. And then here, lift the veil, Christian. My God, what did I say? Questioning everything. Everything unaligned must go. Yeah, everything that doesn't feel good is now just shown to us so we can let it go and we can move into this next phase. So I really hope that this message was encouraging to you, to give an overview of maybe what is going on in your life, to give a little bit more clarity on that so you can move forward with confidence. Let me know how you are experiencing this, if this is really like the collective thing that we're all going through. I'm very curious to know. And let me know what you thought of a collective reading. Would you like me to do more of these, or are you more a pick a pile person, which I get as well because those are so fun, right? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Have a lovely week whenever you are watching. Sending you much love, and I'd love to see you in another reading. Bye!